going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy JNRKK World, and today we are rebuilding the Cleveland Browns. And before we even get into it, we have a 91 offense and 81 defense. This offense is just stacked, overpowered. As you guys know from all my other franchises, they're always doing so good. So it's like it's just a great looking team. So there's really like no changes we need to make with the offense. This is what the defense looks like. We got the rookie Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. We got Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett on the ends causing havoc. So this team is really like solid to me, and we don't really need to address anything except maybe if we wanted to, we could sign like another linebacker if they're available, you know, or a D tackle. Like a D tackle wouldn't be too bad. We could sign someone like Mike Pennell to plug up the gap with Malik Jackson. Wouldn't be too bad. Helps us out even more. In our linebacker situation, like we could sign Devondre Campbell. We could sign Devondre Campbell because he's a run stopper and he's a star. So I think he performed pretty nice. So we could sign those guys as the other pieces to help out with the defense. But honestly, if we looking more into it, like this team is pretty solid. So. And we're just gonna simulate the season and see how well we do. So without further ado, let's get into. So as we simulate to the playoffs, we ended up going 11-5, but we didn't win our division. The Ravens ended up winning the division, going 11-5 as well. Our offense was second in the NFL, of course, because Baker is just godly, and our defense was fourth. So we had a top 2 and 4 offense and defense. Baker threw 41 touchdowns, 13 picks, 105 passer rating. Nick Chubb had 829 rushing yards and 5 TDs. Kareem Hunt spent a lot of time injured, as we can see. Jarvis Landry had 934 yards. OBJ had 929. Tight ends, looks like we got a lot of injuries that happened to us, but Myles Garrett had 16.5 sacks. Jadeveon Clowney had 10. Malik Jackson had 4. We had a good amount of sacks from our DN, so I'm not too mad about it. We had a good amount of picks as well. So we had a top 3 offense and top 5 defense. So let's upgrade all of our players, of course. Not everyone's upgraded for the playoffs. We have a 93 offense and 84 defense. We're facing a 10-6 Jaguars, and we're away. Baker is now a 90. OBJ is a 93. We just only have Nick Chubb because what's his name is gone. We have Jarvis Landry here, Rashad Higgins. So it looks like we have some huge injuries. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is now a 78, which is pretty nice. And D-line is still pretty good, of course. We have a bunch of solid options here. So let's look at our injury reports, see who's actually missing, because it looks like we're missing 3 whole players. So Olivier Vernon has an Achilles tear, but he's not part of it. So Kareem Hunt tore his pectoral. Austin Hooper broke his femur. Greedy Williams partially tore his ACL. Andrew Billings has a complete PCL tear. So we have a lot of key injuries, but we still have a great team to go into the playoffs. So let's see how we do against the 10-6 Jaguars. I'm thinking we take a dub. We take a dub, 38-17, of course. Not really worried about. We weren't worried about the Jaguars whatsoever. So now we're facing the Ravens, who won our division. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Let's upgrade our players. Am I worried about the Ravens that much? Not really. I just want to see who they have on their team first. I mean, obviously we know they have Lamar, but it's just the division rivals. So let's see if Lamar threw 34 touchdowns, 11 picks, had a 70 completion percentage, and a 108 passer rating. J.K. Dobbins had a solid year as long as Gus Edwards. And Sammy Watkins did eat as well, so we need Denzel Ward to lock up. Defense, we're not too really worried about their defense. It's just their corners that can really play well. So it's going to be a great game. It could go either way, but I'm thinking we should pull it out. But as we have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And actually, let's see the stats on how we did in that game first and foremost, because I think it's important that we see how well our guys are doing. But Browns. Okay, so Baker threw 2 touchdowns, Trevor Lawrence threw 2, and Trevor Lawrence got sacked 1. So I guess it was just an offensive game. Did anyone fumble much? We had a good amount of touchdowns. No one fumbled. Nick Chubb led with the most rushing yards, and he had a TD, and Ernest Johnson had 2 TDs as well. OBJ 8, same with Njoku. Defense, Myles Garrett got a sack, but that was really it. And we had a lot of tackles for losses from the looks of it. Yeah, we definitely had a good amount of tackles for losses, so that's pretty good that we were playing pretty well. And yeah, let's see how we perform against the 11-5 Ravens. So we took an L, 31-28. Interesting, because considering that in all other franchises the Browns are always like top tier, but we're gonna lose though. we're going to definitely lose, because that makes sense, because Ravens are better than us. I'm convinced that it hates us. But let's see what happened in this game. Baker Mayfield threw a pick and got sacked once. Lamar threw 4 TDs and got sacked 3 times. Running, we were there. Receivers, they were kind of there, but we were there too. Jadeveon Clowney had 1.5 sacks, and Malik Jackson had a sack, and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah had a sack. We also threw a pick. Chuck Clark picked us off, so it must have been one of those games, tight-knit games. So that's unfortunate that we lost that. But let's see who made the Pro Bowl. So the Super Bowl is Chiefs-Giants. Chiefs ended up beating the Ravens. Baker Mayfield obviously went to the Pro Bowl. Andy Janovich too. Receivers, none of our receivers. Tight ends, none of our tight ends. Jedrick Willis made it. J.C. Tretter made it. Wyatt Teller made it. It's pretty good. Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett both made it together. That's pretty nice to see. Linebackers, none of our guys. And corners, safeties, none of our guys. Pretty interesting, but that's a good first year, I'd say. A great first year. Super Bowl is Chiefs-Giants. Let's see who takes that. So the Giants end up taking the Super Bowl. Daniel Jones wins Super Bowl MVP. In another world, that would never happen. But Patrick Mahomes won NFL MVP. Coach of the Year went to Andy Reid. Offensive Player of the Year went to Tom Brady. Defensive Player of the Year went to Khalil Mack. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Jalen Hurts. And Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Micah Parsons. It's pretty interesting to see. We have 7 players ready to negotiate. I don't think Devondre Campbell did much. Malcolm Smith, we're going to let you go. Colby got set as a depth guard, so we don't really need to keep him either. Devondre Campbell wants a solid deal, but I think there might be more options for us, so I'm going to let all these guys go, because we will have to re-sign players, so that's something to keep in mind. So we can't sign like some crazy contracts for these boys. But let's see, middle linebacker, we have Reuben Foster, who we could go after. He's only 27. He's a star. He'd be perfect for our offense, or our defense to be exact. So let's give him a good deal, but not as high as projected, just so we can save some money. Okay, so we're number 1 there. We have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who's solid there. Left outside linebacker, we don't really have anyone except Taki, so we might have to just address that in the draft. Corners, we're going to leave that alone. We could sign Garyon Conley, but we're going to have to get rid of like a slot corner. We also did draft some people too, so maybe we just keep these guys around and see how they develop. With Grant Delpit, who's good. And we also have John Johnson and Ronnie Harrison. Kicker, punter is good. Quarterback, we have Baker, who's a beast. Fullback is good. Receivers are good. Tight end, we have some great tight ends. Getting a backup left tackle wouldn't be a bad idea either. So we're going to just pick that up. Then left guard is good. Center is good. Right guard is good. Right tackle is good. Left end, we have our players. D tackle is a position of need. Malik Jackson is already 31, so we might have to address that in the draft. Andrew Billings is coming back too. And Malik Jackson had a solid year, but I think it's best if we like move on from him, just so we can save some cap. So let's see what we could do there if we move on from Malik Jackson. So we would get a penalty if we try to get rid of him. So we're going to have to just address it in the draft. So let's advance to the next week, see if we get that guy. Greedy Williams is back from injury. I don't think any of our guys retired, so we're good there. So Reuben Foster rejected our offer. So Baker Mayfield's looking for extension. Yes, we're going to keep him long term because he literally helps out the offense a lot, of course. He's a great quarterback. So let's do that. And then see if there's any free agents we can sign, because Reuben Foster didn't want to sign with us apparently. Middle linebacker, no one here, so we're gonna have to also address that too in the draft, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with not signing anyone free agency. Doesn't really matter. So now that the draft is here, I think we'll have a pretty low pick at 26, so that's fine with me. So let's get to that pick first. So with our first pick available, the players available that they have on the board, we don't need a quarterback, we don't need a running back, we don't need a receiver, we don't need a tight end, we don't need offensive linemen. D tackle wouldn't be too bad because we always need a D. It's always good to have some D tackles, but we could get someone in the second round. Left outside linebacker, same thing. Middle linebacker, they have a kid named Jerry Agnew, who's a late first rounder. He wouldn't fit our scheme, but he wouldn't be too bad to pick up either. And I feel like there's also a safety named Enrique Trapp. I'm gonna go with the middle linebacker, Jerry Agnew, 72 overall. He'll just back up our kid we already have there. So let's see how that goes. Let's go to our next pick. Now that we're here at our next pick, let's see who's available. D tackles, obviously we got Theo Winston, who's an early second rounder. We also have Carl Coleman, mid second rounder. Terry Morton, late. Peter Wesley, mid. Jerry Kilgore is an early as well. Trent Hatchett is early as well. A lot of early D tackles, but I think Theo Winston's our best option here. So we're going to go with Theo Winston, 71 overall, so we provide depth on that D line. And then we're going to leave the rest of the draft up to the simulation, see what they... So now we look at the draft recap. So we drafted a running back, a right end, another D tackle, a middle linebacker, a safety, a quarterback, a running back, and a receiver. Interesting. So we drafted a lot of positions here. Very interesting to see. We might try doing some trades this upcoming year, but we got a lot of our players back. 93 offense, 83 defense. So because I like David Njoku, I still don't know what I want to do yet. Austin Hooper is still recovering from his injury, from breaking his femur, so that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, the team is still pretty solid, I'd say. Still very solid, and I like what it's looking like right now. I really do. We could trade a pick for a left outside linebacker that fits our scheme, so we could try that out because we do have some cap space available to do that. But let's see who's available for that actually, because we need a left outside linebacker that fits our scheme. Logan Wilson would fit our scheme most definitely. I think he would fit perfectly into our team, and I think a 4th round pick should work for him. They're not interested. Maybe a third straight up for Logan Wilson would work. They need significantly more value. Let's see what else we have available. We don't want to give up Joel Bitonio. We don't want to give up our center either. Right tackle, we could give up Chris Hubbard because Chris Hubbard is a lot of cap. Let's see what penalty we'd get for getting rid of Chris Hubbard, because he is taking a lot of cap, and we don't even have a backup left tackle. So Chris Hubbard, we would save a lot of money by removing him. He's a 66 overall and he's 30 years old. So, and then we could just sign a backup tackle too. And I want to get this kid Logan Wilson. I feel like he'll be great for our defense. And so they say they need a middle linebacker. Do we want to give a middle linebacker? Anthony Walker. If we give up Anthony Walker for Logan Wilson, they don't even want that either. So we're gonna end up keeping Anthony Walker around too. So right tackle Chuba Hubbard. Why do I keep thinking it's Chuba Hubbard? And then we're gonna give up a third in Chris Hubbard for Logan Wilson. They want significantly more value. And we're gonna also add in a 6th round pick as well. Trade offer was accepted. We get a new left outside linebacker. And for the middle linebacker position, I feel like it should be a position we address too, considering that these guys are going to be the head of our defense. So, but for right now, I think we're all right. We just need a backup. Tackle, like a left tackle, because I think that would be very important, because we could always move guys around. So if you go for like a tackle, there's nothing really here though, except like Riley Reef or Dennis Kelly. We'll sign Dennis Kelly just because he's a veteran and he'll be there for backup purposes, of course. But so those are the real signings that we did, some real trades that we pushed through with. I think it's too bad having Dennis Kelly here just in case. He will be there just in case. And then the simulation will obviously fix the team around if people get injured. So we also have Logan Wilson now, our new our new help at the left outside linebacker position. And I do want to see if we could get a middle linebacker that fits our scheme as well, because I think it's best if we try to go for players that fit our scheme. Like Roquan Smith, I don't know what position he is. Jermaine Pratt would fit our scheme too. Levante Davis, I think it's like the field general. I think it's the field general scheme. Drew Tranquil would work too. He's only 26. Kenneth Murray Jr., I don't think we'd be able to get him, but it would be worth a try, just straight up. Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that to go through. So, I wasn't really expecting that to go through. So, damn. I can't get Joel Bitonio back. So, I'm going to have to just get rid of Anthony Walker. Trade him away for a left guard if any team's like very interested in him. Probably not. So, it'll be the Dolphins. I don't know what guards they have available. Kelechi Osemele, nah. Damn, I didn't really mean to make that move for him. So now we're gonna have to see what we can do here. Elijah Vera Tucker. Elijah Vera Tucker wouldn't be too bad, honestly. Michael Onwenu. Yeah, you see, I didn't mean to make that trade, honestly. I didn't think it would go through like that. But James Daniels is a 79 overall. He's only 23. Anthony Walker straight up. We give them Anthony Walker and a 4th rounder. I think that would go through. Anthony Walker and a 4th rounder for James Daniels, and they want significantly more value. We'll throw in a 6th of next year too for James Daniels. All right, how about a 5th of next year? I think that should go through for James Daniels. Damn, a 4th this year and a 4th next year should go through for James Daniels. Cool. So we do that. We adjust the left guard position. Our offense goes from a 92 offense, but we get a new guard though. He fits the scheme. It's a change up. We went from an 88 left guard to 79, but that's fine. That's fine with me. And we do address the defense though. We got Kenneth Murray as a superstar. It's kind of a steal that we got him. He's only 22, so he's gonna be a problem for our defense, especially with all these young cats next to him. So our defense should be even more top tier than it was before. Offense took a little bit of a hit, but we still have a good solid guard. And just for safety purposes, I'm just gonna sign a left tackle, even though I don't want to. We were trying to get Jesse Davis to be a backup, but he didn't want to sign, so we're gonna sign him now. And then this team should be really solid to go when it comes to the playoffs. So let's take a look at him one more time. We should be top. We should be #1 offense and like #2 defense, if anything. And yeah. I like the signings we made. I like the moves we made. So this should be pretty interesting to see. So hopefully these guys can live up to expectations, and let's send to the playoffs and see how they perform. All right, so we ended up going 12-4. We just took an L to the Patriots, 28-24. We're facing the Steelers. We got a lot of players to upgrade. We upgraded them all. We have a 92 offense, 87 defense now. Kenneth Murray unlocked a new ability. We won our division, of course. Our offense was first. We had 6,308 passing yards, and our defense was 29th. We gave up 6,000 yards on defense. That's crazy. But Nick Chubb was first on rushing touchdowns, and Baker Mayfield was like number one in passing TDs. He had 42 touchdowns, 6 picks, 4.3K passing yards. Nick Chubb had 14 TDs, 1,000 yards, while Kareem Hunt had 626 yards, 3 TDs. OBJ had 1,100 yards, 6 TDs. Austin Hooper had 998 yards, 15 touchdowns. That's crazy. So our offense was insane. Defense, Myles Garrett had 18 sacks. Jadeveon Clowney had 15. Malik Jackson had 5. Ronnie Harrison had 3 picks. Grant Delpit had 3 picks. We got a lot of interceptions on the defense. So our defense, somehow, even though it was ranked bad, was amazing. We have a 92 offense, 87 defense now. Baker's in 93. Nick Chubb's in 99. OBJ's in 94. Jarvis is at 87. Austin Hooper's in 91. James Daniels in 83 now. He's progressing really nicely. And then defense, Kevin Murray's 86. Jeremiah Owusu-Karmoa is 80. Taki's 75, so I guess Logan Wilson's injured. Jadeveon Clowney's now in 90. And Winston's is 73. Corners are healthy, so this should be a deep playoff run. I want to see the injury report, see who's going to be coming back. Logan Wilson has a hamstring tear, so he'll be out. And Kareem Green, our 3rd string running back, tore his ACL, so he's out for the postseason. So we're playing against the Steelers. We're home, so this should be a pretty easy game. We took a W, 35-24. We're facing the Patriots, who just beat us too, so this should be interesting to see. And also in the other division, it's Ravens Chiefs. So all 3 of our teams made the postseason, which is nice to see. But we're the 3rd seed, of course. We're facing the 11-5 Patriots. Let's see if our defense can get it together and take the dub against them. Because Mac Jones had 31 touchdowns, 17 picks, 96.3 passer rating. Their offense isn't that crazy, so we should be able to take them down. I mean, their defense, they have Chase Winovich, who's developed pretty nicely, but that's just about it. So we should be able to take down this old team. So let's see if we can get the job done. We do. We beat them 42-31. So it didn't even matter that we lost to them. Now, the AFC Conference Championship is between the Browns and Ravens. Ravens end up beating the Chiefs 27-17. So this is our rematch again from the playoffs from last year, when the Ravens broke our hearts. So maybe this time, this go around, we should beat them. We have one new injury on the report. Myles Garrett dislocated his ankle, so we lose Myles Garrett for the rest of the playoffs. That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a crazy problem right there. Damn, I was not expecting that. Let's see how the Ravens perform this season. Lamar Jackson had 24 touchdowns, only 24 touchdowns and 7 picks. J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards both, wow, they combined for 25 touchdowns total. That's insane. That's a lot of TDs together. Their defense, I'm not really too worried about their defense. They did get a good amount of interceptions, though, but I'm not too worried about their defense. They got a good amount of interceptions, though. But Myles Garrett's out for the rest of the playoffs, so we're missing a lot of key guys. But I have a lot of faith in this team, and Baker, our rookie, should not start. It should be Tack McKinley to get the start over Baker. And Jadeveon Clowney is going to have to lead the way and see if he can apply some pressure. But this is the team that's going in to face Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. So let's see if we can get the job done. All right, bet. As expected, we beat them. We got our revenge. You know, I'm not even shocked considering we won 38-24. But these are the guys that made the Pro Bowl because we're in the Super Bowl, so it don't even matter because we like that. It don't matter. But we're facing a Super Bowl. We're going against the Seahawks in a Super Bowl. Browns versus Seahawks. The Seahawks went 13-3, so that's pretty interesting to see. 6 players were upgraded. The Seahawks went 13-3. Russell Wilson has brought his team back. Let's see how that goes, honestly. So Russell Wilson had 39 touchdowns, 8 picks, and a 117 passer rating. His running backs didn't do too well, though, but Dwayne Eskridge, 8, DK, 8. So they got a good-looking defense, or a good-looking set of offensive players. Aldon Smith, their outside linebacker, had 10 sacks, so not too bad. Bobby Wagner. So they got some key pieces, but we're not scared of these guys. We're not worried about them. Doesn't matter. Let's look at the standings. It doesn't matter if they were the #1 seed in the NFL. It doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter. We came to Super Bowl. We earned our right to be here. So we should be able to we should be the ones to take the dub. And we do. We won 28-24. Come on. We do this. We get the job done, boy. We get the job done. Second year into this rebuild, we win the Super Bowl. Jadeveon Clowney, Super Bowl MVP. Stop playing with us. You got to stop playing with us. It's that simple. It don't matter look at all these accolades. It don't matter because we took the dub. We took the dub, and that's all that matters to me. We took the dub. We got a Super Bowl under Baker's belt a couple years into his career. Let's see the Super Bowl, how that went. So Russell Wilson threw 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and got sacked twice. Baker did nothing, but he only threw a pick. But rushing wise, Nick Chubb had 2 TDs, and he fumbled too. Kareem Hunt also had 2 TDs. Receiving, our receivers were there, but we didn't throw a TD. But Jadeveon Clowney had 2 sacks, so he led the way. He was helping out. He was doing it for our homeboy. And Greedy Williams also got a pick along with DJ Reed. And in the conference championship, we blasted the Ravens. The Ravens threw a TD and only got sacked once, but Baker Mayfield threw 2 touchdowns, got picked off once, and got sacked twice. Rushing, Kareem Hunt killed him with 9 carries, 91 yards, 2 TDs. Nick Chubb was 17 carries, 88 yards, 1 TD. And then receivers were there. Defense. So Theo Winston, our rookie, got a sack, but it was interesting. So we won the Super Bowl. I'm not even surprised we won the Super Bowl because we nice like that. So we have some cap. We're gonna re-sign our left guard, James Daniels. We get him back. Nick Chubb wants a crazy deal. We have to re-sign him though. He's pretty goated, so we got to give him a nice deal. We get him back. Denzel Ward, we gotta definitely re-sign him too. Great corner. He's gonna test out free agency. I don't know why. He would test out free agency. Wyatt Teller's a great right guard too. Won't be able to afford a lot of these kids. But we get Wyatt Teller back. We're gonna have to see who we gotta release because we can't really afford everyone back onto the team, considering we just won a Super Bowl. Definitely not touching Baker. Jarvis might be one of the dudes we let go, to be honest. As much as I love Jarvis, we need to kind of keep the same squad back, you know. And considering we can get someone else instead of Jarvis Landry, we're gonna get rid of Jarvis. We gave him a Super Bowl, but we're gonna let him walk just so we could re-sign some of our guys. I know it sucks, but it's just the way of the company. It's the way of the business. David Njoku is a great number 2 option, so I want to definitely re-sign him. We get him back onto the team. Jamie Gilligan, he's our punter. I'm gonna re-sign him. Why not? And then Tack McKinley was a great depth option, but he's asking for a lot of money. MJ Stewart is a great depth corner, so I don't think it'd be too bad keeping him. We get him back. Kyle Lauletta, I don't care. I'm gonna franchise tag Denzel Ward because we definitely can't let him just walk. And then Jesse Davis, we're gonna let go. Ronnie Harrison. We already have a good strong safety, so there's no point of us trying to keep him either. So we're gonna let these guys go. So that's what I'm doing with that. So let's advance to the next week. We had to get rid of Jarvis Landry in order to do what we had to do. So now that we're a little bit under the cap, or we're over cap right now, we obviously can't do anything about that, but I chose Jarvis Landry instead of OBJ. So hopefully that doesn't bite me in the butt. Kareem Hunt, definitely want to keep around too. JC Treader, we could move him, but we might just be, let's see what the cap penalty is looking like. So we're -10 under cap, so we can't even really do anything that we'd like to do unless we like trade away some players. If they have any receivers that are like solid to pick up, there aren't. We could just draft them too. So we could just trade away our center because apparently we need one. We could have traded away JC Treader. See what team needs a center. See what team is green for a center, honestly. A lot of teams are interested, but we just want a receiver. AJ Brown, yo. If we were able to get AJ Brown, that'd be insane, but that's just not going through. But Justin Jefferson, Amari Joseph, Adam Thielen, nah. Darnell Mooney, nah. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase. Let's try T. Higgins. I doubt that would go through, but honestly, T. Higgins paired up with OBJ would be something. I would rather try Jamar Chase, actually. Let's see if Jamar Chase would go through. Oh, yeah, we would have to give away a center, too. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. We'd have to give away a lot to try to get him. But honestly, it still could work. Because we're trying to free up some cap. So let's just trade him to the center. And we're looking for a receiver. Scotty Miller wouldn't be too bad, but we're trying to see if we can get a guy that will, like, fit as the number 2 option. Mike Williams wouldn't be too bad, but I'm kind of looking for like a speed option too. Demarcus Robinson wouldn't be too bad either. Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, Jalen Waddle wouldn't be too bad. Jalen Reagor, Devonta Smith, Julio. You know, if we traded for Julio, we wouldn't even have the cap for him, so let's not even try that. Actually, the Niners are very interested. Maybe we could try to trade for Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk paired up with OBJ. So that's basically a Jarvis Landry replacement. We could try throwing in a 5th of next year in JC Treader for Brandon Ayuk. Interesting. A 5th of next year compared to a 5th of this year. Let's see. Need a little bit of more value, they say. Considering that Brandon Ayuk's nice, we're going to give them a 3rd of next year. Okay, so we get the receiver position. So we're still under cap right now, but I think it's time to get rid of those D tackles too. So D tackles, I think it's time to move on from him. So like Malik Jackson, we should definitely move on from him. Who knows, morale's going up, but it's time we let him go. And then linebackers are solid still. I have no problems with them. Corners are good too. I like my corners. Yeah, I like the guys we have here. Right end, left end is good. Right tackle is good. Right guard is good. Center, still need to address that. Left guard is good. Left tackle is good. Tight ends are good simply because we can't get rid of anyone. So it's like, what's the point? We have good receivers here who will definitely scheme themselves open. Running backs, we could save $6 million by getting rid of Kareem Hunt, but I'm not going to do that. I think Ernest Johnson should be the guy we kind of release just for some cap. Now we make those moves. We should probably still be. We only have 620K available. So center is going to be a position that we try to address in the draft, but I'm liking how we're looking so far. So let's sim to the draft. Let's start drafting. Considering we won a Super Bowl, I doubt there will be a center that's good for us, that's available. But let's see who's available. Scouted. So I got a second rounder in Ty Walford. Who looks pretty solid. They also have a guard in Brian Wilson. Okay, left guard. I want Ty Walford. I'm gonna draft. Maybe do I trade back or do I take this steal in Brian Wilson? Makes me wonder. What do I do here? You know what? Maybe I just take the steal in Brian Wilson. He's 74 overall. Maybe we can move him to center, see how he performs. You know, maybe he's versatile enough. But let's see if that center is still available at the end of round 2. If he's still available, then I'll definitely stain him. I'll definitely take him from them. He's not available. They have Rich Rosenberg though. He's early first round. In D tackles, they have a kid named Zion Wheatley, who's a late first rounder. I'm not too worried about that round, so let's just go with the center just in case. And Rich Rosenberg, 69 overall. So maybe we'll have to see. Oh, we can't even get the D tackles yet. Now that we're at the 5th round here, let's see if any of these guys that we're looking at are still available. Hopefully one of the D tackles are. Got a 4th rounder though in Taylor Brown. We'll just pick him up for that purposes, and then sim for the end of the draft. Draft recap. So this is the squad we drafted. Pretty interesting, I'd say, considering we're Super Bowl winners. So it's a little bit difficult for us. But 92 offense, 88 defense. Let's take a look at the team. Our center position is our biggest hole, I'd say. But I like this Wilson. Honestly, what we could do here, because James Daniel did play center. He did play center before. So what we could do, because I remember he did play center. Like him and Cody Whitehair was kind of switching on and off. So, excuse me. What we could do here is release Nick Harris. And then move James Daniels to center because he's agile. Move James Daniels to center. Now that Brian Wilson's at left guard, he's a 74. He has his backup. And then James Daniels now at center, doing the snaps. And then right guard is still Wyatt Teller. I think that's a pretty solid move we just did. Yep, we just went to 93 overall. That's a great move that we just tried. Brian Wilson will start whatever, but he'll be pretty solid because he has a hidden development trait. And then offensive line looks good. Running backs look good. We got Brandon Ayuk, new number 2 receiver next to OBJ. He'll have to learn a lot, but he should perform pretty well. And he's younger too. Defense, D tackle is the only real position that's kind of like iffy, but I'm not too worried about that. Because Theo Winston shouldn't hold us down. If we have money in free agency to sign the D tackle, I will go for it though. I like to have that number 1 D tackle that's kind of like a pain in the butt of some players. Like Linval Joseph said, see, we wouldn't be able to sign him because just wouldn't fit. We could sign Snacks, but there's no point because these guys are gonna be like the seam. So let's see how we perform in a regular season and see if we make the playoffs. So obviously we made the playoffs. We ended up going 11-5 though. Very interesting to see. We never really like go. Wow, we have a 95 offense and a 91 defense now. We went 11-5, won our division again. Offense was first. Baker was 3rd in passing yards and 3rd in passing TDs. Our defense was 4th, so top tier of course. Nick Chubb at 13 TDs, 1,100 yards. Kareem Hunt at 582 yards, 9 TDs, amazing. Bless me. OBJ had 965 yards, 8 TDs. Austin Hooper had 11 TDs, 868 yards. Rashard Higgins had a good amount of yards too and catches. And TDs, same thing with Brandon Ayuk. So that's pretty solid. Defense, let's see what our boys did. Kenneth Murray led the team in tackles, had 2.5 sacks and 3 picks, so it's pretty solid. Myles Garrett had 16.5 sacks. Jadeveon Clowney had 11. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah had 3.5. Theo Winston had 3. And picks. Kevin Murray led the team in interceptions as well. We have a 95 offense and a 91 defense. We're playing Josh Allen and the Bills. Baker's a 98 now. Cream's a 90. Brandon Ayuk's an 88. OBJ's a 96. This kid Wilson's a 79 and he's a star. That's great. James Daniels went up. Everyone's just increasing. Defense, Kenneth Murray's now a 90. Damn, Myles Garrett's injured? Holy shoot. Myles Garrett has a dislocated ankle. He'll be back in 4 weeks. Denzel Ward is injured as well. Holy crap. Partial PCL tear. We're not going to get these guys until like the Super Bowl if we make it all the way. Damn, so we got Greedy Williams and Greg Newsome leading the way, and MJ Stewart. So we got some key players that are missing for us. So we're going to have to hope the best. We're going to have to hope for the best that the offense can carry. Let's see how the Bills did throughout the season, and then we'll just go into our matchup and see if we could break some hearts. Josh Allen had a mediocre year. Devin Singletary was all right. Receivers, they had 3 receivers in the 900s category, not too bad. Defense, no one to really worry about. Tack McKinley's on their team too. They had a good amount of interceptions, so this should be a breeze against the Bills in the first game. So I'm not too worried about them. We actually took an L. Me saying I'm not too worried about them, we took an L. Wow, I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked we just took an L. One new injury. Kenneth Murray tore his knee too, so that's fantastic. So we lost some players. Everyone's probably like, yo, they now return to the Super Bowl. Whoa. Oh, that's the previous playoff bracket. What? Why is it not Sims to Super Bowl? We lost in the first round. The Super Bowl is Patriots Green Bay. Let's look at the playoff bracket that led. Okay, it's not updating for some reason, so I guess we gotta leave it at that. But still I'll advance to the next week. I don't care who made the Pro Bowl, it doesn't really matter to me. Green Bay ends up winning the Super Bowl. 2022 season recap. Eric Stokes wins Super Bowl MVP. Wow. I like it. Eric Stokes was the guy. Baker. We got a lot of players ready to negotiate. 16 players ready to negotiate. Baker's obviously going to want his money. We're going to have to give Baker his money. Baker's been phenomenal. We get him back. We need to definitely re-sign Denzel Ward. It doesn't matter what it takes. We have to re-sign him because franchise tagging him was a lot. Why do you still want to test out free agency? Dude, I hate you. I hate you so much for that. John Johnson, our safety. And re-sign him. Jadeveon Clowney, we got to definitely re-sign. Kareem Hunt, he knows his role. I definitely want to keep him. He's a great number 2. We get him back. Jeremiah Owusu-Karmola wants a huge deal as well, but he deserves it. So, Jack Conklin, our star right tackle. Ooh, Greedy Williams, though, we got to definitely get back. See if he can sign back with us on a light deal. We do. We get him back. Rashard Higgins is a great option as a receiver. So, let's see if we can sign him back. We do. Andy Janovich has been our guy holding it down. He's going to test free agency. All these guys are backups, really. Sheldrick Redwine is a solid backup, I'd say. So let's see. He's not interested. And Sion Taki is a depth player. We get him back. So it's really Jack Conklin that we just want to move on from. And then there's Jadeveon Clowney, who's 30 years old. He's great, but I can't lose Denzel Ward. We got to just see what players we can get rid of first. Jadeveon Clowney, we'd make like $2 million getting rid of him, so it's kind of just like, damn, like what do we do at that point? OBJ, we're definitely keeping around. Baker, Nick Chubb, all these guys, they're definitely staying around, of course. That's without a doubt. Jack Conklin, I'm just gonna end up releasing him. We're gonna release Jack Conklin, and then Jadeveon Clowney. The thing is, he's gonna ask for a lot of money, and it's kind of just like we don't need to give him that much. And we also have David Njoku, who's pretty young, so we kind of don't need Austin Hooper, so we could get rid of him if that's a move we want to go with. Andy Janovich, I'm going to release you as well, just to make some money. Yeah, Austin Hooper, we could, and he's only 28, though. Austin Hooper's only 28, and he's a 93. So what's the point of getting rid of him if we have Njoku also? Damn. So we're kind of stuck here, but I would say that we franchise tag Denzel Ward again. Let Jadeveon Clowney walk. See if we can get a replacement for him, as much as it sucks to say that. But we'll franchise tag Denzel Ward again. See if we have any money left over to get Jadeveon. We cannot. So we're going to lose him and the rest of these guys. So Jadeveon Clowney is really the guy that leaves in free agency as he's chasing money elsewhere. That's tough as it is. We have a 96 offense now. That's crazy. Why is our offense so nice now? Who did we lose? Oh, we lost our right tackle. I forgot. Damn. All right, I'm actually interested in see what we can do one more year into this rebuild. Well, not even rebuild. It's just like a successful year. And be like, how fast can we win a Super Bowl? But let's start drafting. We need a right tackle and left end. So hopefully we can even pick up that. Hopefully there's something available. Right tackle, nothing. Left tackle, nothing. Left end, they got a couple guys here, but it's nothing too crazy. Wow, there's like nobody. There's a guy named Dalvin Pettis who's a mid-first rounder. He's a deep threat too. D tackles, we could address that as well. Could go corners, Stephen Holmes. Let's go D tackle though. I like the D tackle position, always addressing that. Steven Williams. Allen Davis is a first. Lance Johnson is a late first. Tyrell Whitfield is a mid first. Alright, I like Tyrell midfield, and there's Tremaine. Okay, so let's go Tyrell midfield. Or Whitfield is his name. We're going to pick him up. Hopefully we can pick up that kid in the second round. That right tackle. Now that we look at the draft recap, I'm getting a right end, a running back, a right tackle, and a safety. Interesting pickups, but not too good, of course. So we're obviously going to have some glaring positions now that Jadeveon Clowney's gone. Sadly, tier. But we're going to have that kid, some kid that's been on the team that just looks like he's solid. Let's take a look at the team. So obviously we have a liability. We don't have a right tackle, which is a problem. Well, the rest of the offense is pretty solid, I'd say. Defense, though, yeah, we're gonna have Baker starting at that right end position, and Myles Garrett's gonna go over to left end, which is fine with me. Corners are still pretty good. We kept our good crew. We kept our defense, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's really just the right tackle position that's kind of a problem. I'm thinking of doing like a huge trade, maybe trading a pick away for a fullback. I mean, for a right tackle, maybe that would work. Don't have cap, so I just thought about that. Damn, they have a lot of right tackles too. We could just go Ben Powers, but we want to be able to afford him. So we don't have any cap room, so we're just gonna have to, I guess, suck it up and see how we do. So let's go to the playoffs. So we ended up having our best season possible, going 14-2. The Bengals went 12-4, Ravens went 12-6. So we had our best season possible. We went 14-2. I don't know how, but we went 14-2. Our best season. Okay. Does it make sense? Not at all. Not at all. Our offense was first, of course, because why wouldn't it be? Our defense wasn't ranked anything. Baker had 34 touchdowns, 6 picks, 109 passer rating. Nick Chubb had 17 touchdowns, 1,300 yards. Kareem Hunt had 704 touchdowns, 14 touchdowns. Receivers were insane, of course. Defense, without Jadeveon Clowney, we had Myles Garrett, 15.5 sacks, but the rest of the defense didn't really amount to much. A good amount of interceptions too, so our team really still did its thing. We 92 overall in total. Right tackle Reese became a 66, so that's pretty nice to see. Wyatt Teller's now at 95, and Austin Hooper's at 94, of course. And receivers are pretty good. Brandon Ayuk's now at 90. We get our first round bye too. Kevin Murray's now at 94. Baker got up to 76 overall, so not too bad, honestly, considering he had to be our new starter because we lost Jadeveon Clowney. But wow, so we got a first round bye, so now we're in the divisional. We're in the divisional against the Chargers. I don't know what to expect. I mean, I didn't think we were gonna be this nice. We're the #1 seed in the NFL, most likely. Yeah, we're the #1 seed in the NFL, most likely. Let's see. Let's look at the standings. Yeah, so we're the #1 seed, 14-2. Let's see the Chargers. I want to look at the teams we face. So Justin Herbert, solid year, of course, for him. Austin Eckler, pretty solid as well. Good year for the receiving crew. Defense, not the greatest, but you know, still can't doubt them. So let's see how we do against them. 14-2 Browns. Took a W, 24-10. Our conference championship is against the Bengals, who I don't think we lost to this season. If we look at the Bengals, let's see if we even lost to them once. Regular season. No, we actually did lose to them the second go around. Interesting, but that was one of our losses. But it's the postseason, so it should be different. Against the Chargers, we just killed them. We both got sacked 3 times. We picked off, but Rushing attack was all over them. Defense, obviously our boys was there. So against the Bengals, I don't know what to expect. It's either us or them going to the Super Bowl. So let's see who makes it. So we ended up beating them, and we're facing the Falcons in the Super Bowl. Eddie Baker's now 77 most likely. So it's been a breeze. It's actually been a breeze. So I want to see how that game went. We're facing the Falcons in the Super Bowl, which is pretty interesting to see. So we blasted them. Baker threw 4 TDs, got sacked once. Joe Burrow threw 1 TD, got sacked 4 times. Rushing attack, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt did their thing, of course. Austin Hooper went crazy on them. And then Myles Garrett had 2.5 sacks. Taki had 1. Larry Ogunjobi had 1. And then no interceptions for both quarterbacks. So now we're in the Super Bowl against the Falcons. And 2 Super Bowls in like 4 years for the wow, hold on. The Falcons are 8-8. The Falcons are 8-8. They're the 7th seed coming into the Super Bowl. They're the 6th. What? Falcons are the 7th seed facing us, the best team in the NFL. Nick Chubb gets an upgrade. He might have got like Offensive Player of the Year or something. So let's see if we take a dub. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost because they're the underdogs. Oh, we ended up blasting them. Okay, makes sense. Baker wins Super Bowl MVP. Kevin Stefanski won Coach of the Year. Makes sense. So we just obliterated them. We were no competition for anyone in the NFL. So yeah, and we didn't have a right end or a right tackle or a left end. So that's pretty cool to see that we're pretty godly. But I'm gonna end the video off there, guys. We already know the Browns are just destined for success. So there's no real point in going forward. We already know how it's gonna go. We're just gonna keep winning until we can't keep any of these guys. But hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Hit the like button, subscribe for new, comment down below what other teams you want to see me rebuild. It's been a pleasure doing this video, and I got some new content coming out in terms of Madden and different video ideas compared to just the rebuilds, so stay tuned for that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Oh, and remember, you gotta be a Fiend succeed.